lovely YouTube friends, it's Isabel here again. Of course it is, it's my channel. Isn't it funny how we always say the same things? Anyway, I first recorded the video I'm about to do on Friday, a couple of days ago. And I then went to upload it and check it, and I was really not very happy with it. It was a bit meh. So, the video I did record the other day was basically an unboxing. So it was an initial reaction video. I am re-recording this as a sharing the contents of a subscription box style box with you, but not my initial reactions, because I just was a bit too over keen, I think. So the first one, this is another box from a company that I have shared with you before, and that is the Moon and the Furrow. So I did a video not so long ago about receiving and subscribing to an older tree box, a Solstice box from Kate at the Moon and the Furrow. And I really loved that box, and I really like the things I've got from Kate. So Kate recently offered another tree themed Solstice box. And I ummed and ahed for a while, and I'd really liked the first one a lot, and I really like supporting creators in the UK, and this is something as I think I said the last time, I like the idea of these box kind of things you can get with different things in, but I'm not a fan of some of them because I just wouldn't use the things and it would go to waste. But this is good for me. I want to learn more about trees, etc. So this is the latest box. So as I say, I did firstly record this as an unboxing the other day, but I wasn't happy with it. So this is let me show you. So this is the Summer Solstice box, and this is a box all themed around oak. So Kate includes a lovely leaflet which talks about oak and the summer solstice. Everything is harvested from the woodland where she lives. So they live in the sort of Welsh borderlands, I think it is. Certainly mid Wales. They have Kate protects and cares for some woodland, and everything she creates, she tries to use elements of the land that she lives on and is caretaker for. So this is oak and summer solstice, and so the leaflet, it's really nice. I really like this older, a bit about the solstice, a bit about working with oats, and just a very small medicine and magic, so things you can do, rituals and celebrations for the solstice, and then some stuff about mythology and stories, which I really like this bit particularly. I really love this idea. So it talks about the Druid word for oak. It's derived from the Sanskrit word, which is DWR. I'm going to say this wrong, so I'm not going to say it, which means doorway. And oak can be the doorway into inner realms and strength. And I thought that's really lovely. And talking about oak, the Oak King and the Holly King, representing the light and the dark half of the year. So there's a lovely little leaflet, and what I'm going to do, I think, is say I've got the other one, and what I'd really quite like to do actually is find like a little folder or something that I can put these in, or I just need to think of how I can store them somewhere so that I can refer back to them, because obviously I can't stick them, but it would be nice if I could find something. So Kate also put a personalised thank you letter in. Now Kate actually had seen my other video and had sent me a message about it, and I really appreciate the letter. And the letter, I'm not going to read it out or anything, but she tells us, and I'm sure different letters to different people, she tells us of, you know, what they're doing on the land. And she goes to camp down by the river and things like that. So that was really lovely and really nice that it was personalised as well. It's the contents of the box, and then obviously a list of the contents, and then the contents itself. So, and everything is beautifully, naturally, you know, this nice cardboard box, everything is beautifully packaged. So let me get rid of some of the packaging. So we've talked about the booklet, talked about the letter. So this is one of my favorite things. This is a hand painted piece of solstice art with earth pigments using oak. So she's used paints that are derived from earth pigments, natural pigments, and this is a slice of oak from the woodland, signed, varnished to protect it. But isn't that lovely? And I have an affinity. I dolmens or standing stones, we went to see some at the weekend. that were flat, but they were standing at one time. So I really like this. I'm looking forward to displaying this somewhere. At the moment, I don't have a specific altar space that I would want to display in. I think, you know, in a few years when my kids have grown up and I've moved out or whatever, and we retrieve some space from the toys, I might be able to find a little area somewhere where I can put some of these things. But for now, I just look at them periodically. So that's just really beautiful. Then also she created some incense. So this is natural incense that she's hand blended. I've enjoyed using some loose incense the last few months, so I'm quite looking forward. She did send it with a charcoal disc. Can't remember where that's gone, in one of these pouches. Oh yeah, so there's some charcoal to burn it on. And it says that, let me just have a look at the notes. There are some notes somewhere about the incense. Here we go. So there's something about the incense here. So she realised she had a lot. She used to offer incense and decided to stop doing it for various reasons. But then realised she had a lot of supplies, so when she was looking at this box, decided to create some incense using plants that are special at this time of year for her, and adding plants grown and foraged such as lemon balm, rose, lavender, mugwort, nettle, yarrow, thyme, mint, sage, buttercup and oxeye daisy. So this is kind of like using bases of things like frankincense, myrrh that Kate had in her stores from previous products, and blending with all these beautiful herbs. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've got another one that's more of a Yule one, so it'd be nice to have something that's fresher for the summer. So that's nice. That's the incense, and that's the card. And all these cards beautiful because it gives you all the, you know, information. I'll come back to the handkerchief in a minute. There is a packet with some oak pieces in. So this has, I haven't actually opened it. Let's see if I can open it really carefully. I don't want to lose any of the pieces. So in here are oak leaves, acorn cups. Let me just show you, see? Acorn cups, oak leaves, oak elements that are intended to make what's called a solar dye jar. So the instructions of the solar dye jar is basically that you put the material into a jar with string or fabric and water, and then you just leave it in the sun and it will dye that fabric or the string or whatever, which is really lovely. So that's going to be fun to try that. There is also a little piece of wood of oak. Now there was one of these beautiful pieces in the older box. At some point I may yet find a way to just kind of label them very subtly, because I have a feeling if I won't remember, or I have to leave them in their pouches, one or the other. But this is oak, again sourced from the woodland, that you can use on an altar, or you can decorate, or you can have as a pendant. And this is the OM symbol for oak, painted with earth pigments, again on another slice of oak. When I feel these, they feel so natural. And I just love feeling it and knowing that it's come from their woodland. It's so nice. Then another couple of little things. This is so cool. This is a 4 elements jar that Kate has created. So in here there are some lichen, a berry, an acorn cup and a pebble, all sourced from their land, to represent the 4 elements. And again, you can use it on your altar. You can use it as a way to help you remind yourself of the elements, perhaps if you can't be outside or you can't feel them. I like the idea of it being able to be on an altar, so you don't need, like, it's natural rather than, you know, here's a metal sword and things like that. So that's really cute. The jars were ones that somebody else no longer needed, so have been repurposed. Again, lovely. And then finally the handkerchief. So these handkerchiefs she designs especially for these boxes, I believe. And this is the oak, the summer solstice oak box one. So here you have, I believe it might be the holly and the oak king. When I first opened it, I wasn't sure. I thought, oh, green man, green woman. But having read about the time of year, I realised that here you've got the holly the holly berries, the light coming in. And then here you have the Oak King, who has his sort of summer antlers like Canunos or a stag or whatever, and his branches in the oak, and the acorns. So another beautiful cloth. And again, you know, so again, you imagine you've got a kind of altar space of some form. So I really love it. So thank you, Kate. Another beautiful box full of gorgeous things, a way to learn about nature. I like it because it's natural, it's linked to the world around us. It's for me, because it's a UK based creator and they're very what's the phrase, sorry, I have, just as a proviso, I have had another nasty headache the last few hours. I haven't been away for the weekend, so my head's not quite in place. But it's being able to relate to this natural world. It is, you know, oak, the Britishness and that sort of thing is quite nice, because sometimes, you know, a lot of things we share with the world, and that's great. But if we want to really find our own roots, it can be really good to go back to the things that are in our own environments, like oak and holly. I used to live in a house that was called the Hollies. There were lots of holly trees, so that's something that kind of I relate to. And it's lovely the way there's holly and oak in the opposing corners as well. So, Kate, when I did open this box, I did have some real squeal reactions, because as with the last box, this is really beautiful. If you are interested in the Moon and the Furrow, the work of Kate, she does sell things online, handkerchiefs, cards, a few other bits and pieces. However, she goes with the flow, so it can be seasonal, it can be at times, sometimes she steps back and at the moment, I believe that her shop is currently closed because she has some other work on, and that she wants to take a short break. And so I would recommend following her on social media, or newsletters really good, because she keeps you informed about what she's doing on her land, and maybe things she's read and stuff that's impacted her. And that way you'll be able to see if you're interested when the shop opens. And then I think if you're in the newsletter as well, she lets you know about the subscription boxes. I'm not sure if she posts overseas at this current time. Again, I leave you to find that out for yourselves. But otherwise, please do support the work of Kate. And thank you again, Kate, for such a lovely box. I'm blown away by how beautiful the things are, and how something so simple as a piece of wood or elements can be made to feel so special.